Hello, it's time for another episode of Discipleship Today. My name is Bob Benson. I pastor Christ Lutheran Church in Bemis Point. We've been talking about what it takes to be a disciple and make disciples. The last episode, I talked about 7 characteristics of good disciples who are making disciples. Characteristic number 1 was they follow Jesus. The first step to becoming a disciple is to follow Jesus intently with your whole heart, your whole mind, and your whole soul. Now, that sounds simple, but it's not always easy. Following Jesus means surrendering our lives to Him and allowing Him to lead us. It means putting our trust in Him and obeying His commands. Now, the commands that He gives me are going to be different than the commands that He gives you, right? We let Him direct our lives. And all of our lives don't look exactly the same. I think Henry Ford did a lot of good things for our country when he invented the assembly line. But we can't look at building disciples like Henry Ford would, because it's an individual life we're dealing with. Jesus said, if anyone would come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. That's from Mark 8:34. How is it that we do that? Following Jesus requires sacrifices. That's our true act of worship, right? Is when we sacrifice for the kingdom. But it also is the most rewarding journey that we can embark on. What I feel such a sense of accomplishment, such a sense of fulfillment when I'm following Jesus closely. And really, as a pastor, isn't that what I want for each and every person in my congregation? Now, they've not all been called to be pastors, but wherever they are, they should feel that same sense of fulfillment in doing what Jesus has called them to do. Sometimes that's sacrificial. Sometimes we have to give of ourselves to do that. We need to read and study our Bibles and engage in what it tells us. And that's my challenge for you this week. Sacrifice for your faith and follow Jesus, getting into the Word of God and living it out in your lives, and then help others do the same. So for Discipleship Today, my name is Bob Benson. Thank you for taking the time to watch.